Join Kids Hut family.
Tia, you recite so many stories to me that are full of morals, but you have never recited your favorite story to me. Which one is it?
Tofu, that's true. I haven't yet recited my favorite story to you. Would you want to listen to one of my favorite stories?
Yeah.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there lived a widow with her only son, named Jack. Their times were really hard, and they were living in poverty for long. Jack was too young to work and earn money. All their house furniture and other belongings were sold off to carry on with their basic daily needs. Until at last they were left with a cow, who used to give milk every day, and that they used to sell off in the market to buy bread. One day, the poor old cow didn't give any milk. That's when Jack suggested his mother,
I think we should sell off this cow and get a good return in bargain.
So Jack left to sell off the cow in the market. On the way, he met a butcher.
Oh, where are you going, Jack?
I'm going to the market to sell off this cow for a good bargain.
Oh, why take the trouble to go that far? I have a very good deal for you.
He took out 5 strange-looking beans from his pocket and handed them to Jack. Jack looked little hazed as to what kind of good bargain it is.
Oh my God! They are so beautiful. What do you call these?
Beans, magical beans. If you plant them overnight, by the next morning, they will grow up and reach the sky.
Wow! Mother would be so happy to see them. Thank you, Mr. Butcher.
And off went Jack happily to his mother and showed her the magical beans. But to his disappointment, she only got angry at him and shouted,
Off you go to bed right away.
She threw the beans outside the kitchen window and into the backyard and went off to her bed, crying and weeping. The next morning, when Jack woke up, he saw outside his window, and to his surprise, he saw a great beanstalk reaching up to the sky.
Oh my God! This beanstalk is so huge! I need to climb this up to see where it leads to.
He climbed up and up and up till his home looked a mere spot on the ground. At last, the stalk ended and Jack found himself in a completely different place. But suddenly, a beautiful lady appeared and said,
Hello, Jack. You don't know me, but I know you and everything about you. The castle you see there belongs to a giant who stole all your father's money and killed him. Your mother had kept this secret from you to protect you. He owes you, Jack.
The lady disappeared in thin air. Jack kept standing there and thinking,
He surely owes me and my family.
Far away, where the road ended, he could see a huge castle. He went up to the castle and knocked on the huge door. A giant woman opened the door. She looked scary and howled at Jack. What do you want?
If you please, ma'am, would you kindly give me some breakfast? I haven't eaten anything since yesterday.
The giant woman, though looked cruel and ugly, had a kind heart and offered Jack a huge plate of English breakfast, but warned him, "You must finish quickly before my giant husband comes back and eats you." Then suddenly there was a huge knock on the door, and the wife picked up Jack and hid him in a huge empty kettle. As the door opened, the giant entered and roared,
Fee, fee, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
"Nonsense! You're mistaken. It's the ox hide you smell." So he sat down at the table and ate the ox that his wife had served him as breakfast. After he finished, he asked his wife,
Get me my money bags.
He started counting his money, but he was so sleepy that he slept on the table. The whole room was roaring with his snore. Jack, taking an opportunity of this time, got out of the kettle, picked up the money bags and ran towards the door. Before the giant woke up, he climbed down the beanstalk and to his cottage and did not look back even once. He took a sigh of relief and ran to his mother.
Mother, look what I got. We are rich now.
The mother and the son lived quite comfortably. Till one afternoon, when his mother was away, he decided to go up to the giant's castle and see what was happening there. So he climbed up the beanstalk and reached the castle. There, standing at the door, he saw the giant's wife again. But she didn't recognize him because he was dressed impeccably this time.
If you please, ma'am,
He said,
will you give me some breakfast?
"Run away, you little boy! Last time a boy came, he stole my husband's money bags." But since she was kind-hearted, she offered Jack breakfast. At that very moment, the giant knocked on the door and quickly she hid Jack in the oven. The giant entered and roared,
Fee, fee, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
But the giant's wife once again assured him that he is mistaken and offered him his huge breakfast to eat. After eating his food, he asked his wife,
Get me my golden hen.
The wife got the hen and the giant roared in his voice,
Lay!
That very moment, the hen laid a golden egg, and Jack was left amazed with what he saw. No sooner he saw the giant slipping into his deep sleep, and once again he came out of the oven, picked up the hen, and ran for the door. In the meanwhile, the hen began to cackle. The voice made the giant move a little, but he kept sleeping. Jack climbed down the stalk and went straight to his mother and gave her the golden hen. The mother and the boy were so rich that they had money greater than even what they could spend. One day, he was sitting idle. The thought of the beanstalk crossed his mind again, and he decided to climb it. No sooner he was at the castle, but this time he decided not to be seen and climbed the kitchen wall of the castle and hid himself in the oven. In came the giant, roaring louder than ever.
Fee, fee, fo, fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
But the giantess was quite sure that she had seen no little boy that morning, and after grumbling a great deal, the giant sat down for breakfast. As soon as he got over with his breakfast, he called out to his wife,
Bring me my harp! Sing!
ordered the giant. Soon the harp started singing the most beautiful sounds ever heard, and no sooner the giant fell off into his deep sleep. Jack, who was waiting for this moment, got out of the oven and climbed the table to grab the harp. But as soon as he started running off with it, the harp started shouting,
Master! Master!
The giant woke up just in time to catch the sight of Jack running out of the kitchen door. With a fearful roar, he saw Jack running with the harp and dashed after him. Little Jack ran as fast as he could, while holding the harp tightly in his hands. The giant, taking terribly long strides, gained on Jack, and he would have been caught if Giant had not slipped over a boulder. Before he could pick himself up, Jack began to climb down the beanstalk, and when the giant arrived at the edge, he was nearly halfway to the cottage. The giant began to climb down too, but as soon as Jack saw him coming, he called out,
Mother, bring an axe!
The widow hurried out with the chopper. Jack had no sooner reached the ground than he cut the beanstalk right in two. Down came the giant with a terrible crash, and that, you may be sure, was the end of him. But the mother had a very important advice for Jack.
Jack, what the giant did to your father was bad, but you should not have been so greedy. He reaped what he sowed, but greed is also a bad deed.
Jack agreed to his mother and promised to never be greedy again, and they lived happily ever after.
Wow, Tia, that was such an adventurous story.
Yeah, Tofu, and do you know why it was my favorite story?
No, tell me.
The story was about a brave boy who wanted to fight against poverty, and in a way, he got a chance to take revenge of his father too. But in the process, he forgot that harming the giant again and again was not ethical, and stealing from the giant's house was also against his morals.
Oh, that's quite a heavy thought for my little brain.
Ha ha ha! Let's go. We are late for dinner. Mom must be waiting.
Hey, Tia, what are you doing?
I'm meeting the new school principal tomorrow, so just putting my things in order.
Oh, you want to impress him, is it?
I'm not sure about that, but I don't want to disappoint him either.
Maybe you should tell him that you're the best in class. And also tell him that you're a champion swimmer and always come first in all the sports activities. And that you always win all the debates and elocutions.
Tofu, I can't do that. Not all of that is true.
Yes, but most of it is.
Oh boy, you're acting like the miller. The miller? Who is that? Come, let me tell you a story. Rumplestilskin. Once upon a time, the king called the village miller to the court. The miller went there with a mind to impress the king by any means possible. And so when he was presented in front of the king, he lied that his daughter, who was an excellent spinner, could spin gold from straw. "Oh, that's impressive. I order you to bring her to the castle tomorrow, and she will spin gold for me." The miller goes back home and tells his daughter what he'd done.
Oh no! What have you done, father? I cannot spin gold. I don't think anyone can.
I know, and I am sorry, my child, but there is no way out of it now. You must go to the court tomorrow and spin the best you can.
Yes, father.
And so the girl went to the court the next day. "Your father tells me that you can spin gold out of straw. In that room there is bale of straw. I give you till tomorrow morning. You must spin it into gold by then, or you will lose your life." The miller's daughter had no choice but to do as told. She went into the room and locked herself in. As the night wore on, she didn't know what to do. There was no way she could spin gold. Afraid that her father's lie would get her punished by the king, she started crying. Just then, a strange little man appeared in the room.
I know what bothers you.
Do you?
Yes, and I can help you. I can spin the straw into gold for you.
Oh, please, do it then. I beg of you.
What will you give me in return?
I can give you this necklace of mine.
Okay, I will spin for you.
And so the little man got to the spinning wheel and started spinning. Within an hour, he had converted all the straw into gold. He then took the necklace from the miller's daughter and went out of the window. The next morning, the king came into the room. "Is my gold ready?"
Yes, Your Majesty.
Very good. Now I have another test for you. The castle's barn is full of straw. You will spin all that straw into gold till tomorrow morning. The miller's daughter was taken to the barn. Once alone, she was again surrounded by worries. She didn't know what to do. Soon it was night. Afraid of the king's reaction, she started crying.
You've got a barn full of straw for yourself today.
The girl looked up to see the strange man from the night before.
Yes, and the king needs it to be spun into gold by tomorrow morning.
What will you give me in exchange for it now?
I don't have much, but I can give you this ring off my finger.
The man took the ring from her and started spinning the straw into gold. The next morning, when the king saw the shining gold, his greed increased. Very well, the castle has yet another barn, bigger than this one. If you value your life, you will spin all the straw in it into gold by tomorrow morning. If you succeed, I will marry you and make you the queen. And if you fail, off with your head I'll have. Once again, the king had left. The girl was taken into another barn. It was bigger than any room that the girl had ever seen, and so full of straws. She broke down as soon as the king's men had left. She knew she was surely doomed now. When night fell, the little man appeared again.
Need my help again, is it?
Yes, please. Please spin the straw into gold and save me.
Well, I could do that. But what will you give me now?
I have nothing left to give you now.
You could give it to me when you have it.
Yes, I will. Tell me, what can I give you?
Your firstborn child.
The girl gasped, but thought, who knows what may happen in the future? It was wiser to save her present. So she agreed.
Okay, I will give you my firstborn child.
The strange man happily got to spinning the straw. When the king came in the next morning, the whole barn was full of glistening gold. Happy, he announced his marriage with the miller's daughter. Soon a year passed and the new queen gave birth to a baby boy. The boy was only a day old when the strange little man appeared in her room once again.
is time to settle your debt. The boy is mine.
Oh no! Can't you forget this debt?
Never.
Please, there has to be some way. I will give you gold, fortunes, whatever you want.
I only want the boy, but I will give you 3 days to guess my name. If at the end of the 3rd day you can guess it right, I will leave you and this boy alone. If you can't, the boy will be mine.
As soon as the man had left her room, the queen called her trusted soldier and ordered him to gather every name he can find in the kingdom. The soldier set on his mission immediately. The next evening, he came and gave the queen a list of names. When night fell, the little man visited the queen again.
Do you know my name?
Is it James? Or Jack? Well, is it Richard? Or Kenny? She continued with all the names she knew and the names that the soldier had brought back from the village.
No, no, no. These are not my names.
But the little man said no to every name.
That is not my name. I leave you now with 2 days left to find what it is.
The queen sent her man out yet again to go to the farthest corners of the kingdom. Till then, she read all the books she could find, hoping that one of them might give her the man's name. The next night, when the man came back, she gave him the names her soldier had brought back and the ones she had collected from the books. Is your name Casper? Sheepshanks? Tommen? None of them.
I leave you again. I will come back tomorrow to take away the boy, because you won't be able to guess my name.
Once again, the queen implored the soldier to go out in the kingdom and find her a name. The next evening, before the little man would come, the soldier returned to the queen with some news.
My lady, alas, I could not find any new names in the kingdom and its neighbors. However, last night, after I left the castle, I came upon a clearing in the forest where I saw a strange little man danced around the fire. He sang a strange song too. She can search the land, she can search the sky, but a name like mine she will never come by. Rumplestilskin, that's me.
The moment the queen heard the name, she knew it was the one. She happily waited for the strange man to come visit her.
Have you found my name yet?
Oh no! I can only wonder what it can be. Is it apple tree? Myrrel? Or maybe Rumplestilskin?
How can that be? This is some sort of sorcery. How did you know my name?
The moment the strange man heard his name, he became very angry. He shouted and stomped around the room. In his anger, he stomped so hard that there became a big hole in the ground and he fell into it, towards his death.
I wonder if the queen ever told her father about all this.
We will never know, but we do know that trying to impress people may get us into big trouble.
Oh yes, that lesson I've learned today, and I don't think I will ever forget it. Thanks, Tia, for this wonderful story. For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Heart family. Subscribe here.